You know, playing a sport usually requires good communication, but what happens in a sport when talking takes a backseat?
16 News Now sports reporter Megan Smedley has the story of one Concord swimmer who's reading all the right signs.
He's one of the men, one of the guys.
Ben Reamer has only been swimming for 4 years, but he's already making a splash.
You know, I think he's become a more confident person, athletically, socially, academically, over the last year.
Once, I got the hang of it, I felt like, this is where I belong and this is where I can compete.
There's just one difference with Ben.
I'm human, I'm just like the next person. The only difference is that I'm deaf.
The Concord swim team has welcomed Ben with open arms.
Like what we would do with any kid, you want him to feel welcome, part of the team, part of the family. I can feel like he's one with us.
It's good for him to, be in this community and, with this swim team. Each individual is different, but they're all friends, they're all teammates.
Ben grew up in a deaf household, and being a part of the swim team is helping him break out of his shell.
He has to learn how to open up, kind of get out of that shell, not be afraid, I'm deaf, I'm just one person out of, millions of hearing people. But to show that, hey, I'm deaf and I can do this.
Concord has an interpreter to help Ben during his classes and practices.
In some ways, it's made me a better coach in that I'm more specific and more direct in the way I might communicate with all of our athletes.
His teammates are doing whatever they can to communicate with Ben. Some are even learning sign language.
They were kind of hesitant at first, it's awkward. They would get out whiteboards and, write with me and try to communicate with me, joke around with me, and I think that helped us become more of a close-knit family.
I don't think his deafness really changes anything. Something he has, and, we're still friends, and we just deal with that the way it is.
When Ben competes, a light is placed in at the end of the pool and flashes when the race begins.
In swimming, you don't need to hear anything. We're all in the same competition.
His parents couldn't be any prouder and say this experience is preparing him for the future.
With Ben, he's done a wonderful job. I couldn't be more proud of him. Kind of encouraged him to think, how can I problem solve with the hearing people and the hearing community? It's good for him because, he can make those adaptations and, challenge himself.
Ben says that others in the deaf community shouldn't be afraid to leave their comfort zone.
Just try. It makes for a great success. If you're a competitive person, you just remember that you're a human and you have the strength to do it.
In Elkhart, Megan Smedley, 16 News Now.
Amazing. And a special thank you to Jesse Vasquez for interpreting in the story.
Yeah, Ben hopes to continue to improve throughout the remainder of his high school years, and that maybe one day he can compete in the Deaf Olympics. Best of luck.
Yeah.